Om. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are in Pancadasi chapter 11, verse number 17. 16.
Yeah.
So, here what is happening is, so we saw the Vijnanmaya Kosha is the knower, the Manomaya Kosha is the where the knowledge takes place, and the known are at the sensory level. We come to know the objects, and these three were not present before creation. So what was that? Here we are talking about that whatever is known in this world is known through the triputi of knower, known and knowledge. So that is being told that wherever these three are in play, they are like these three legs. They are complementary to each other. One is supporting the other two. If one goes, the other two cannot be. To think that the knower can be there without knowledge and known, it's just an imagination. If to think that the world can be there without the knower and knowledge, that also in imagination. That is also not possible. And so also the third option, that is, knowledge cannot be possible without the knower and the known. And where does this take place? So that was told here in the 15th verse, that Vijnanamaya Jnata Utpannaha. Utpanna created. The I is created in the Vijnanmaya Kosh. Jnanam Manomaya. Knowledge is comes about in the Manomaya Kosh. And Nyaya Shabdadaya. And the known is the seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting. These are at the sensory level. And all these three, etatrayam utpattitah pura na. Pura, before, na, not, before they were not, before what? Before they came about into existence, before that they were not. So that which is not, that, and now which is, and afterwards it will be not. How can that knowledge, how can that experience be a blissful experience? It will be a finite experience, and that's what the teacher is trying to bore into us. And the thought continues further, quoting various Shruti sources, and here Traya bhave tu nirdvaitaha, Traya bhave tu nirdvaitaha, Purna evanubhuyate, Purna evanubhuyate, Samadhi supti murchasu, Samadhi supti murchasu, Purna srushte pura tatha, Purna srushte pura tatha. In the state of samadhi, deep sleep and swooning, there being an absence of the duality, the self is all complete. That is non-dual. Similarly, before the creation, the self was non-dual. So, here it is being told that this knower known knowledge, this triputi, is not present. Where? In samadhi it is not present. Which samadhi? Nirvikalpa samadhi, not savikalpa samadhi. Nirvikalpa Samadhi it is not present, in deep sleep it is not present, and when you are swooning also it is not present. And therefore Tatha Shrestha Pura Nirdvaitaha. Therefore in the same way, before the total creation, the awareness, the Paramatma, the Purna Tattva, that is the complete, he alone was, or it alone was. What is this? That which is complete? That in which this Triputi is not present, duality is not present, sense of otherness is not present, differences are not present. And that you are, don't forget, that you are. Then who is experiencing all this duality, multiplicity, sense of otherness, differences? Who is experiencing it? Huh?
Individual?
No. Mind. Mind is experiencing. And you are observing the mind. In your presence, the mind is having all this whole drama that he has created. There has never been a moment that you are not. So recognize yourself in this way. Out of Purna the complete, Apurna the incomplete cannot come. So if this creation has come out of that one reality, if it has come, if is very important, underline. If this creation of multiplicity, of variety, of duality, of triputi, or the triad, of differences, if it has come out of the reality, then it must be also of the nature of reality, because it has come out of reality. So either the scriptures are telling us wrong, or our experience, in our understanding something is going wrong, isn't it? Either we are not seeing the reality where it should be seen. That is the second option. And first option is maybe could be possible that the scriptures are telling wrong. But scriptures are not telling wrong. Why? Because so many great masters, realized masters, have authenticated it again and again, that what the scriptures say is correct. See? So then what option is left now for us? The only option left is, maybe there is a defect in our vision when we are looking at the world. Maybe we are looking for that non-dual reality in the wrong place. Maybe that is the defect. Maybe we have understood it wrong. Maybe we have hoodwinked ourselves into thinking that this world is a source of problems. So the basis, the foundation is Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. That which is Purna, out of which if something is taken out, what is left behind is also complete, and what is taken out is also complete. So there is no loss or no gain in the reality when creation comes out of it. Is there any gain or loss? I can't take that example. Cancel. I was thinking, if husband comes out of you or wife comes out of you, is there any gain or loss? Yes, there is. Everyone would have said. Yes, example good. Is there any gain or loss to ocean if waves come or don't come? It is complete. See? So, contemplate in this. He who is able to discover Purna in Apurna, meaning he is able to discover completeness in incompleteness. Just like, remember, in the 5th chapter or 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, there it came, discover action in inaction and inaction in action. Remember? Exactly the same way. He who is able to, such was called a wise person. So now same thing here. He who is able to discover completeness in spite of incompleteness. One way to put it. Second way, he who can discover completeness in incompleteness. Such a person is a wise person. He himself becomes complete. Is it getting too hot? Yeah? No, I have to ask everyone. Is it okay?
That's good.
An example is now given from the Chandogya Upanishad to establish that in the Purna, which is Ananda Swarupa, there is no duality in terms of Triputi. What they are doing is, what teacher is doing, what Vidyaranya Swami is doing, he has made a statement, now he is authenticating it by quoting some other scriptures to say that it is not his figment of imagination, but it is supported by the scriptures, because this text is not scripture in the sense of a scripture. It is the words of a realized master. Yo bhumasa sukham nalpe, sukham nalpe, sukham tredha vibhedini, sanat kumara prahaivam. नारदायाति शोकिने Sanat Kumara has told the grieving, deeply grieving Narada that the unlimited Supreme Self alone is blissful. There is no joy in the finite that is associated with the trio of duality. So Naradaya Ati Shokine. Shokine, he was extremely disturbed. He was extremely, Ati means very much. He was very, very disturbed and miserable. And what did he say? He who is able to discover the mastery in this world as Lord Buddha did is the Adhikari. So what is the first prerequisite, if we may say, at our empirical level? What is the first prerequisite? You must be totally disenchanted with the world. That is the first prerequisite. If there is still something to do in this world, if there is still something to maintain, protect, secure, desire in this world, reality will not reveal itself. It reveals only to that person who has worked out everything and he has become helpless. He has become helpless. And this is not just at the worldly level. One person I know, he was contemplating and getting in meditation. But Swamiji, I am not able to be absorbed. I know that I am thinking. I know that the mind is thinking and it is saying I am thinking. But I am not going to go beyond it. How will it get absorbed? How will it get absorbed? See, this objectification is a big problem. Only then will we have spiritual desire. Over involvement in the affairs of the world as if they are a source of joy will prevent one from wanting to search for the real source of joy. This is, we have covered it many times. But maybe we need to cover it again to remind ourselves. All objects of the world are finite. And if all the objects of the world are finite, they can give only finite bliss. They cannot give you infinite bliss, which is equal to infinite number of finite desires or finite objects is equal to finite bliss, not infinite bliss. Is equal to finite bliss only. So our problem, you know what it is? Neither we want to be spiritual 100%, nor we want to get into the life, this worldly life 100%. Both, we want the best of both. That is the problem. We want to live suddenly we are very quick to quote, Buddha said, take the middle path. We are taking the middle path. We are taking the middle path. And what is the middle path? One leg in this and one leg in that. His middle path didn't mean that. His middle path meant remain in that position. Maintain that poise where neither good or bad does not disturb you. Comfort, discomfort does not disturb you. Hunger and thirst does not disturb you. Name and fame and insults don't disturb you. That is the middle path where you remain undisturbed in spite of whatever the world is throwing at you. But our understanding of middle path is one leg in the world, one leg in spirituality. Not that way. Sanat Kumara evam praha. Sanat Kumara instructed Narada when Narad Muniji came to them, totally helpless, totally given up, totally dejected, totally frustrated. Who becomes like this? Who becomes totally unhappy with the world? I'm asking.
Disillusioned, someone who's disillusioned.
Yes, the one who is disillusioned.
Who cares about the world? Who gives importance to the world?
Who gives importance to the world becomes disillusioned by the world. Correct? Very good, very nicely put. Yeah? The one who gives value, but because he has given value and he has not found what he was wanting from the world, therefore that disillusionment came. Therefore that unhappiness has entered into the heart of Narad Muniji. And he approaches. See, Narad Muniji is the mind-born son of Brahmaji, the creator. And Sanat Kumaras, whom he is asking the question, they are the first children of Brahmaji, the creator. They are 4. They are ever 6 years old. The moment they were born, they became God's devotee. Then Brahmaji said, okay, first, because what is the creator's job? His job was to create a creation as an offering to the Lord. That was his job. So first creation, he produced 4 Sanat Kumaras. They became devotees of the Lord, Ishvara. Then he produced Narad Muni. Narad Muni also has become the devotee of the Lord. And then he went and then he became angry with himself. And then in Brahma Puran it comes. Then out of that anger, Rudra was born. See? And then he produced Manu and Shatrupa. And then the creation began. So here he says, the real, that which is without any limitations, that alone is Sukham. See? So what is Sukham? Our understanding of Sukham is, if my desire is fulfilled, I am happy. If my desire is fulfilled, I am happy. If I get that object, if I get my sleep, if I wake up on time, if I go to work, if I get the job, if I get my salary, if children listen to me, my wife listens to me, or husband listens to me, or if, then I am happy. And what is true happiness? Unconditional. There are no limitations, no ifs. No ifs. In spite of everything. In spite of everything, he who is happy. Today I got an email. Someone wrote to me 2 days ago, 3 days ago. And then today again he reminded. Some person from Adelaide. I am a devotee and I have heard, by the grace of Adi Shankaracharya, I have studied the scriptures and I am on the way to realization and I am sure I am going to realize, and but my wife doesn't understand this. She feels that if I get realized, then I will neglect in my duties and this and that. Please give me blessings that I reach the destination and that good sense prevails on my wife. क्या बोलेंगे इसको? I did not answer the email the first time. I didn't know someone's taking the mickey out of me. So now again he sent today. I am very serious. Please please reply. Please give the blessings. I really need to. What happened?
Too hot, so.
Too hot.
No, I'll stay down is good.
And like this, then today I said that you have to be happy in spite of your wife. Let her go through her own journey. You be on your journey. Why you have to absorb yourself into anything unnaturally? Why can't you absorb yourself while your eyes are open? So I gave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 points. Now let's see if it clicks good. We can't run away from the world. See, if you run away from it, anything, it will run after you with more speed. Remember this. If you run away from anything, it will run after you. The real happiness comes from that which is not conditioned by the presence or absence of anything. Anything meaning not the world, space, air, fire, water, earth, the 5 koshas, gross body, subtle body, causal body, nothing. It is not conditioned by anything. It is independently existing. It is self-existing. That alone can give you the true happiness. That alone can give the lasting happiness. I am using the word give. No, it's just for communication. It is of the nature of that which is independent, that which is ever free, that which never comes and goes, that which is illuminating the presence and absence of everything. That is of the nature of true happiness. And that you are. Don't forget. Otherwise it will remain a concept in the mind. That you are. Even while listening, remain subjective. Let the mind understand. Your attention should be in my presence, the mind is understanding. In my presence, the ears are hearing. In my presence, the senses are taking in the stimuli. Be the presence continuously. For that, nothing needs to be done. Oh, I have to be present. Oh, mind. That sentence also you noticed. That sentence that which mind said, prompted, that also was illumined by you only. If you are not there, how can the mind say that? And you know it, that thought was erupted in the mind. So be extremely alert and vigilant. The freedom in the material world is only a bondage. Freedom from all limitations of the world is real freedom. Tredha vibhedini alpe sukham na. So now, wherever there is this triputi, wherever is this knower known knowledge, there the reality has as if got covered. Wherever husband is appearing, the man has got covered. Wife is appearing, the woman has got covered. The mother is appearing, the woman has got covered. Isn't it? Exactly the same way. Wherever knower known, and just like the waves are appearing, the water has got covered. We don't say oh, look at this vast expanse of water. We say, look at the waves. We don't say, look at the gold. We say, look at the ornament. Because we are fascinated by the shape, the design. So wherever there is this knower known knowledge, Triputi, there the reality is covered. And anything which is known by knower known knowledge has to be something less than the reality. Has to be something less than reality. It cannot be the reality. And in this way, and therefore there cannot be any happiness in such a divided state. So said Sanat Kumaras to the dejected Narada. Sapuranan Panchavedan, Sapuranan Panchavedan, Shastrani Vividhani Cha, Shastrani Vividhani Cha, Jnatvaapyanatmavitvena, Jnatvaapyanatmavitvena, Narado Atishuchocha Shushochah, Narado Tishuchochah. Narada, although knew the four Vedas, the Puranas, and also many other sciences, grieved extremely due to lack of self-knowledge. Who is Narada Muni? Narada Muni went to various teachers and studied 64 Vidyas. He's a master. He is master in the Vedas, he is the master in the Upavedas, that is the sub-Vedas, the yogas, the music, the you name it, and he knows it. He is the best teacher that is there. We did Narad Bhakti Sutra, in that it is by him. His words. Even though knowing all this knowledge, astronomy, astrologies, phonetics, mathematics, science, Ayurveda, music, everything. He is the best singer. He can play all the instruments. After knowing everything, still he is miserable. How can such a person be miserable? Therefore, such people are more miserable because they know too much. But they have forgotten the source of all the knowledge. Where is the source of knowledge? I ask you. Where is the source of knowledge? Shrikant?
Consciousness.
Huh? Okay. Where is the source of knowledge? Uncle?
The self.
Tell.
In the mind.
Source of all knowledge is the mind. Okay. I. Within. Someone said in the scriptures. Someone said source of knowledge is all the scriptures. Where is knowledge? Shruti, Smriti, Purana, etc., etc. Someone said. But what is the true source of knowledge? The self. The self. If the self is not there, can the mind function? Can't. Now the answer will depend upon where your attention is. Is it the lower knowledge? It will be in the mind. If it is the ultimate wisdom, it will be in the self. But the lower knowledge, that is what in the Mundaka Upanishad it comes. The para and apara vidya. But we get lost. We are not doing satsangs because we want to intellectually stimulate ourselves. At least I am not here for that. We are not here to intellectually stimulate ourselves. We are here so that this logic, the reasonings that are given, the pramanas that are given, the words that are spoken by the great masters, they can transport us to ourselves. That's why we are here. We are not here to collect data and appreciate that Vidyaranya Swamiji, oh, what a fantastic text he has written. We are not here for that. Such people are intellectually frustrated. Narad Muni is also. Even after having known 64 knowledges, still he is frustrated. Still he is unhappy. Why? I don't know that which everyone, all the gods know. I want to know. I want to be.
Swamiji, which is correct? All knowledge is in the self, or self form the basis of all the knowledge? Are they
Both one and the same.
Both the same.
Sat Chit Anand. No? So Chit means the knowledge. If you are uncomfortable, take the chair between the two sofas and sit there.
Yeah, now okay.
If you are uncomfortable. No?
Come here.
No, it's okay.
So therefore, in the objective knowledge there is need for instrument, that means the mind, but in subjective knowledge the mind does not play any role. So there is a distinction given here to us. Are you thinking about yourself? If you are thinking about yourself, you are going the wrong way. Because thinking will not lead you to the self. In the presence of the self, the thinking takes place. This distinction, even while it is good that the mind is thinking about the self, but while that thinking is going on, are you being the presence? That is important. Therefore, Narada Anatmavitvena Ati Shushochaha. Narada was extremely miserable. Why was Narada unhappy in spite of all the study of scriptures? Vedabhyasat puratapa Vedabhyasat puratapa Trayamatrena shokita Paschatvabhyasa vismara Paschatvabhyasa vismara Bhangarvaishcha shokita. Bhanga or Abhanga? Abhanga. Abhangarvaishcha shokita. Narada was suffering due to three types of obstacles: Adhidaivika, Adhibhautika, Adhyatmika. Don't, when we listen to this, Adhidaivika, Adhibhautika and Adhyatmika. Oh, Narada was suffering. You are also. Every one of us is. Don't just think Narad Muni was. You are also. We are all suffering because of the circumstance, the world around us. We are all suffering because of the calamities that come around us. That is the Adidaivika. And we are all suffering due to this uncontrollable mind, uncontrollable emotions, thought fixations, our own habits which are detrimental to our own peace. Adhyatmika. See? So all of us are. He was also. Now after the study of the Vedas, the sufferings are, in addition to the above three, due to forgetting the scriptures and the insult planted on account of this forgetfulness. For now the sufferings are fourfold with repeated practice, forgetfulness, error and pride. The more you come closer, where is this knowledge of the Vedas and the scriptures? In the mind, isn't it? And the more mind comes to surrender at the feet of the self, at the sanctum sanctorium, slowly, 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 all knowledge leaves. At that time, people get afraid. Oh, I am losing memory. Swamiji, is this spirituality? Why am I losing memory? Why can't I could remember numbers, phone numbers? Now I can't remember anything. Before I could quote shlokas from the scriptures left, right and center. Now I can't quote any scriptures. What is happening to me? So here it is told, after the study, if you forget, then you are going in the right direction. You don't have to remember all the time, because remembering means where does reality reveal itself? Where there is no past and future. See, I have spoken to Mahatmas about this, and they say we also went through this, but then it clicks. Then it clicks. You have studied, then you forget, and then it clicks. Then every word that comes out of such a Mahatma is a scripture itself, whether he quotes or he doesn't quote.
We say that all the knowledge is in the Vedas and script and pranas.
Not prana.
Not prana. Okay, in the mind, is it the lower mind? Isn't it?
There is only one mind.
Ah, okay. That including the intellect.
Whether it is thinking of low world or it is thinking of the God or the spirit, it is still the lower mind. Mind is lower.
Mind is lower.
Wisdom has got nothing to do with mind.
Which is different from the intellect here.
No, same. Sometimes we use the word mind, and when we have to distinguish the two, then we use the word intellect. Only when we have to bring out the functional aspect, then we tell that. Otherwise, you just use mind. And now the suffering are fourfold, repeated practice. That means you have to keep repeating to remember. Forgetfulness, and so much time you are spending to repeat, but you are still forgetting. Then errors and pride. When you are quoting sometime during the scripture, satsangs, etc., you make the mistake. Oh, this is from the 7th chapter. That's why I never say anything. I never say anything. I don't quote anything. Forget it. Huh? And then the ego gets hurt, or there is pride that I know so much. How can I forget? But you do forget. I told you this incident. I told Swamiji, when will that day come when I am able to quote scriptures left, right and center like you do? He didn't answer. Next day, we were walking on the beach. It must have stayed with him. I was walking in the front, he was walking behind. Came and put his hand on my shoulder. He said, I was also thinking. I said, so some satsang coming up, Yes, Swamiji. I was thinking, when will that day come when my mind will be naturally empty like Paramananda's? Because even in the dream I keep giving lectures. Even in the dream, the script, this statement, this shloka, that shloka keeps coming and going. When will my mind be like this? That was the lesson. That we all want what we don't have. So he is trying to naturally empty the way I am, and I am wanting to be full the way he is. See? Grass is greener on the other side of the fence. No comparisons. If it is naturally empty, let it be empty. Don't feel bad. I was feeling bad. That being a sannyasi, just one doubt sometimes is, if I had given time, I would have left that. But that it was pricking somewhere. So might as well get it cleared from a master, why not? In the end, you have to work it out, but let's see what his take is. Veda abhyasat pura tapa traya matrena shokita. Before the study of the Vedas, etc., one is miserable because of the three type of miseries. Adhyatmika, where the body is ill or the mind is disturbed. Adi bhautika, environmental disturbances like telephone ringing, neighbors disturbing, etc., etc. And Adi daivika, natural calamities like floods. This I just now told you. And these afflictions can happen before the study of the scriptures. This can not only study of scriptures. When you sit in the class, it can happen. The cat comes and disturbs. Huh? And someone is not allergic, they start sneezing. Oh, please take the cat away, please take the cat away. Or you are sitting, someone puts the microwave on during meditation in the morning. If you are disturbed, or does not matter, let the sounds go. How many sounds will you run away from in life? Wherever you go, the sound will pursue you. So best is, this is the opportunity, take the middle path. What is the middle path? Stand apart from all the sounds. Sound or no sound, stand apart. Who is illuminating that sound? Who is illuminating no sound? Come back to yourself. That becomes an opportunity. That becomes a doorway for you to fall back into yourself. But we are, doesn't he know that meditation is going on, or she knows? Huh? We take a stand, and that is because of our ego. After the study, paschatu abhyasa vismara bhanga garvaihi cha shokita. So before studies of the scriptures, there is problem. The three Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika and Adi Bhautika miseries are there. And after studies of scriptures, again there is problem. What is the problem? Forgetfulness. You have to keep repeating it. If you don't repeat, believe, I tried this, I started chanting Lalita Sahasranam. And for good 1 month I was doing it. Roj, morning, evening, morning, evening, morning, evening. And when I went to Sydney last year, and in the car of someone, the Lalita Sahasranam was going on, and I was feeling so great, before this verse comes, I already know it. Not all of them, but majority of them. And really, and then when I was giving the satsangs, there also, now whatever you know, you give examples of. So I took that, whatever the verse used to come, automatically, I used to quote that or say some word. Ask me today. No practice, gone. No practice. No practice. Mind is a creature of habit. You have to keep repeating, keep repeating, keep repeating, keep repeating. It becomes a habit. It becomes deeply entrenched in the mind. But you stop, it will start losing, it starts fading away. The moment you stop, it starts fading away.
Swami, that's only if you want to remember that, but remembering is only words and those sort of things, but the knowledge remains staying with you. You may not be able to quote those words, but
knowledge, what is knowledge like? Tonight, this evening, when Paul came from work, did you say, hey, who are you? You're in the wrong house. Go away from here. Every day you repeat. Every day you ascertain that he is Paul. Every day you ascertain this is the body, this is what I am. And this continuous reassertion on a daily basis is what binds us, keeps us in the loop of the mind, isn't it? You get up in the same environment, you look at the same house, you look at the same bills, you look at the same job, you look at the same employees, you look at the same boss. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Every day you must be going through a particular route. Every day you see that. Oh, where is the house gone? Now new house is coming here. Oh, where's the tree gone? Oh, environmental, I must complain. So it's repetition because you become familiar when there is repetition. Isn't it? But what is the price for remembering everything? If you want to study the script, we are taking here from point of view of scriptures. If you want to remember this, if you have studied the Vedas, you have to keep repeating it to remember till it clicks. And here, as long as you are in the mind, you have to keep repeating. There will be forgetfulness, there will be pride, there will be insults or humiliation on account of you quoting something somewhere wrong. You see? Afflicted in this manner, Narada approached Sanat Kumaras and asked, Soham vidvan prashochami, Soham vidvan prashochami, Shokaparam nayatramam, Ityukta sukhamevasya, Paramityabhyadhadrushihi, Mityabhyadhadrushihi. The sage Sanat Kumara, when asked by Narada, I am extremely grieved, please lead me beyond grief, instructed that the bliss infinite alone is beyond this grief. What is that bliss infinite? Brahmananda. What is that infinite bliss? Paramananda. That alone is beyond grief. Nothing else. So he says, O sage, although I have studied all the Purana, Shastra, scriptures, etc., I am extremely miserable. Please lift me out of the misery in which I am. The teachers, his elder brothers and teacher, they replied, there is only one way to get out of this unhappy state, that is, to discover the source of that bliss which is in every one of us. Without Brahma Jnana, without knowing yourself, without knowing that absolute reality, there is no Anartha Nivritti and Ananda Prapti, meaning there is no giving up of unreality and there is no gain of infinite bliss. See? In those special moments, of contemplation, have you ever felt the pain in your heart? Have you felt the pain? Have you felt the pain? And it comes by itself. It doesn't, you don't plan for it. If you are searching in the right direction, if your mind is searching in the right direction, if you are trying, you want to be all the time. उसको बोल दो okay tomorrow morning.
Hello? Okay, you're coming tomorrow, isn't it? Okay. Thank you. Yes, right.
Where was I? I was a sudden break in contemplation. Where was I?
Pain.
When we are sincerely seeking the self, if we are seeking, the pain will come. when we are singing the bhajans, when we are chanting Vishnu Sahasranam. It's the same pain that a lover has for the beloved. There's an ache. It's sweet, at that it's hurting. This ache only comes because you feel you are separate from the reality. That ache only comes because you have not reached the destination. You know it is so close, you are that. Then why am I not abiding in myself? Then tears roll. There's a heaviness in your heart. See? That is what Narad Muniji is. Having known everything, still he is not able to abide in his own. Well, he is not saying the self. He says, why am I still unhappy if I know everything? Where am I going wrong? So the teachers are telling him that the reason you are feeling unhappy is because you are not abiding in the absolute reality, which is the source of all bliss. And anything else other than that is blisters. The world has any effort to get out of the misery of this world by making adjustments and compromises is futile. See, this is what we do. Watch yourself. As I said before, we want to have one foot in the world and we want to have 1 feet in the spirituality. And it may change. It may change to 7 days of satsangs. It may change to retirement and becoming a sannyasi. But still living in a fool's world. Still living in a fool's world. Renunciation of the world is not equal to realization. Abidance in the truth alone is realization. You renounce the world every night also in deep sleep. So have you become realized? See?
So these studies of scriptures and Vedas, is it to reject the world or is it to realize the self?
At a lower level, to understand that your approach to the world is wrong, that your search for happiness in the world is wrong, because the world is finite, it can never give you infinite bliss. First, it is explained, but the main purpose of the scriptures is to know the truth. And when you know the truth, automatically the world will drop away. But then question comes, how do I come to know the truth? Because we are so addicted to doing something. We are so addicted to putting efforts throughout our life. I have to put efforts to do anything, isn't it? To eat, I have to put efforts. To go to sleep, I put efforts. That is, prepare everything so that I can go to sleep. To wake up is an effort. To go to work is an effort. To earn money is an effort. To raise kids is an effort.
In this case of Narada, after knowing all these 64
Vidyas, yeah.
why he couldn't abide in the self?
That is what.
Is it because effort is not there, or is a wrong understanding?
By efforts, you can never come to know the truth. By efforts, you can never come to know the truth. Then how can you come to know? Effortlessly. Efforts, we must put efforts. Still we are in the body and we are still thinking ourselves as a person, an individual. We must put efforts. But those efforts must lead to effortlessness. You put efforts to go to sleep. But can you say that by my efforts the sleep came? You know that your efforts led to effortlessness, and that effortless glide into sleep happened, isn't it? Exactly the same way. That you put efforts, study the scriptures, do the sadhanas, etc. if it is required. Or if it is not required, you are one of those, oh, I am. It's in my presence. I will remember this. Nisargadatta Maharaj, 2 years locked into the room, came out a realized master. Nice story. Do you have the guts to go and do it? Papa Ramdas, 9 years, married, one child, one wife, one father. One father means one father was there. And then decided one day, I want to live at the mercy of the Lord and find out what it is. What does it mean? What does it mean to live at the mercy of the Lord remembrance? And he walked out of the house. 9 years later, a great master, same place, was an ignorant person before. Then that ignorant person became a seeker. That seeker then became a realized person within the journey of those 9 years, span of 9 years. So mechanically we must not pursue spirituality. Mechanically, no. Whether you study we keep taking text after text. Is it to prove anything to anyone? No. So that different ways, in every class, we are transported back to ourselves. That is the point. Not to appreciate what they have written. Who are we to put a stamp? Yeah, fantastic. Do you know what they are talking about? You cannot know till you don't abide in the self, isn't it? So keep that approach all the time. That every satsang is an opportunity. Whole life is an opportunity to be with yourself, because that is, you are always there. But in satsang, it becomes evident. The self becomes self-evident. I should put it this way. So don't concentrate too much. Like the other day, I was in some class in Bhagavatam, and I completed the whole Ras Leela. Krishna has just appeared among the gopis, and oh, so much laughter and joy when Krishna comes. And after 2 hours of satsang, I was in that zone. Fatapat, kuch I ate, and one girl comes and asks, Swamiji, I got 2 questions. I said, can it wait? No. Then please. Okay, what? Why do you tell jokes in Hindi? I said, Daridri. If that is my language, I will tell in that language. What can I do? If all people are who do not understand Hindi, then it will not come. No, but I can't laugh. They cry. I can't participate. Don't participate. Are you here to participate, or you're here to know? Out of the whole 2 hours, this is one thing that that person stuck on. Nothing else. Did not ask about Lord, did not ask about what happens next. So where is your attention? Is our attention, it was a good stimulation? Or is it taking you to silence? Is it taking you within? The world has always existed in the pairs of opposites, and therefore efforts made to discover absolute bliss while continuing to be in the relative world, maintaining our relative positions, are bound to fail. Meaning what? Meaning what?
Not to have to one.
What does that mean?
Discover the source of.
Huh?
We discover the source of bliss.
No, here it says,
Not to
while continuing to be in the relative world, maintaining our relative positions are bound to fail. What does that mean?
have one foot in this and one foot.
Because that's got a finite. Anything what you have, worldly things, it has to end.
True. What is relative position in the world? The word used, I'm purposely asking this question. While continuing to be in the relative world, this we understand that the world is relative because it's coming and going. Maintaining our relative position. What do you mean by maintaining our relative position?
That's also
Maintaining that
changing.
I'm the body.
Hmm?
Maintaining that I'm the body.
Maintaining that I am the body, that I am the seer, that I am the hearer, that I am the experiencer, that I am the knower, that I am the speaker, I am the whatever.
Does it also mean that having one foot in this and one, like what we
True.
started saying?
Then I can't get out of this world, then how do I live in this world then?
You don't get
At this moment I don't have the experience of being out of this world, abiding in the self, then how do I do? The question is what? Then what do I do? Again the question is what do I do? Do. Stop doing. Just be. Be the presence, be the illuminator, be the knower. Not knower in that sense. Be the huh? Be the, what did she say?
That's wrong.
Be the beer.
Be the beer.
Beer.
No.
Beer.
Said be there.
Be there, okay. Be there. But there is no there. Just be. Okay. And this can be experienced right now. You don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to do anything, all you are doing is listening. And that also you are not doing, it is happening. Some idiot is speaking and your ears are getting the stimuli of those words and you are watching that these stimuli are coming. You are not doing anything, just be.
Swamiji, this relative position, does it also mean our relative identity? That
That's
our,
right.
you know, I'm a father or husband or...
So how do you get out of the miseries of being a father or a son or a husband? If they are all cross-pollinating each other and you're getting too much, then what do? When those roles are cross-pollinating each other? You don't know where to draw the line between the 3-4 roles that you are playing. We all play multiple roles of a friend, of a father, of a son, of a husband, of an employee, of a boss, of a colleague, of a best mate, of an elder brother, of a younger brother. So how do I make semblance of all these roles? When the data coming for each role is too much, each one is. The father thinks I got too many responsibilities. The son thinks, oh, this also I have to take care. Then the friend also the other friends are demanding your attention and they want your ear. So every role is totally exhausted. So how do you come to a position where you can look at it objectively? By being a man,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
Because if you remain in those roles, you will lead to depression and eventually khalas. But if you recognize, hey, first I am a man and all these roles I am playing, then you can see them in the right perspective, isn't it? Correct? This is understood? Exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. Not only those roles, but also this body, this breath, this mind, this intellect, these emotions, these concepts, these ideas, everything that is coming to me it's too much data coming. The world is continuously sending to, unwanted data is also coming. And if you get overwhelmed by it, you will lose the plot, isn't it? So how do you not lose the plot? Be the self. take a position which is unaffected by everything that is coming, which means unaffected. Just like you came to the man, all the roles were taken care of. Now you come to the self, all the instruments of knowledge, intellect, mind, breath, body, senses, all of them, then you are not caught up in any one of them, isn't it? Take one step back. That is what we call falling back into yourself. Be yourself. Abide in yourself. The true self, not the self called body. What is the relative position? That which comes and goes. What is the permanent position? Which will never go. So find out in yourself what is relative and what is permanent. Husband comes and goes, father comes and goes, son comes and goes, body has been coming and going, situations have been coming and going, experiences have been coming and going, whatever you see, hear, touch, feel, taste has been coming and going continuously. Isn't it? It's never the same thing. The breath is coming and going, the emotions are coming and going, relative. The concepts also are coming and going, the thoughts are coming and going, the ideas are coming and going. So any of this, whichever you are, if you think I am this thought, this emotion, this what I am seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, you want happiness from that, but it cannot give you because it is not permanent. See? So that relative position means if you are identified with any one of this, that will become the relative position. If you identify with the son, the father will be there. Identify with the wife, the husband will be there. That's the relative position. Having and maintaining a relative position, you can never come to know the truth. But does that mean that the relative position will not express itself out? Let it. You don't identify with it. That's all. So while the role is being played out, you be the presence. Let the role be, that is, the mind is playing its role. You let it go on. You don't get attached to whatever is coming out. But be truthful to your, well, it's not question of truthful or not truthful. Either you know it or you don't. That's all there is to it. The nature of the Vishaya Sukham, the happiness born out of the enjoyment of the worldly objects, is now taken up. So this joy that we gain out of the worldly objects, how it is ephemeral, how it is not true, that is being indicated. Sukham Vaishayikam Shoka Sahasrena Vrutatvataha Dukhameveti Matvaha Nalpesti Sukhamityasau. The joy gained from the objective indulgence being associated with many miseries is called sorrow. Knowing this, declared that there is no happiness in the finite. We have already talked about it. But this thing, you must become convinced of. The mind must become, the intellect must become, have a deep conviction. When do you express effortlessness in life? Tell me. Yes, I know in this context, the topic that I am taking, that you must be convinced of. So when do you become effortless in life? Whatever you have become convinced of, with regards to that, you are effortless. You have become convinced that you are a mother, so motherhood effortlessly flows out of you, isn't it? You have become convinced that these are my duties, those duties as a father, as a husband, etc., in spite of all the troubles, they effortlessly come out, isn't it? You have become convinced that with the eyes I can only see and not hear, with the ears I can hear and not do any other four stimuli. It has become effortless. You don't have to think anymore. Mother doesn't have to think that I must serve, I must take care. Isn't it? Because if you are not convinced, then there will be effort. The greater the conviction, more is the effortlessness. 100% conviction, absolute effortlessness. With whatever, empirically also. So why is it that at this moment we are not able to abide? We are not convinced of it yet. Our conviction is still broken up that this world is still real. There is still something to gain out of this world. There are still relationships to be maintained. There is still jobs to be done. If I think of reality, who will pay the bills tomorrow? We sabotage ourselves by this type of language. And this language is there because we are not convinced. Think about it. Your life is what your convictions are. Remember this. At a relative level, your life is what your convictions are. Change your convictions, your life will change.
You can do both.
What is that?
You can do both. You can do the world, you can do your spirituality.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
Okay,
You can do
good luck. Good luck.
You can do both.
Good luck.
You don't have to renounce anything.
Say that.
You don't have to renounce anything.
Good. If that is your belief, please teach us also. Please teach us.
Depending on the definition of renunciation, if you already renounce and if you don't identify that it is being renounced.
Good.
No attachment.
So, if we are living in this world with awareness, then mind will continue to do what it has to do. In my case, it will keep teaching till it has to. In your case, it will keep taking care of your children, grandchildren, husband, etc., etc., without a complaint, because you are living in awareness.
That's what I meant.
Good. I am putting words properly. Yes, but when you are doing that, this is one catch. If your attention is on the world, then it is not on the awareness. If it is on the awareness, then it is not on the world. So if mind is going through its rigmarole of living, let it go through. You stand apart. And that I cannot tell you, you cannot tell me. Each one knows for himself or herself whether they are there or not there. See? Only they can tell. And if two people are there in the same, just like in Buddhist Zen, they say two masters came to meet each other and they sat together and he poured the tea, he had the tea, they drank the tea, they say it was good and they smiled at each other and they walked their way. All the other disciples were sitting around. some wise words will come out, some discussion will go on, Shastra some discussion about truth will happen. Nothing happened. They enjoyed the tea and went their own way. There's nothing to talk after that. Nothing to talk. And then that brings about a deep contentment within you. Deep contentment. Then such a person does not run away from anything, he does not run towards anything. I'm telling you the symptoms. We are not on the topic, but then he will not run towards anything, he will not run away from anything. Then he will not desire anything or not desire anything. Because all that is the mind's journey. And if there are certain, from a world, if we are looking at that master, we will say, oh, he is desiring. Because he said, give me food. Or if he says, put the fan on. Realized master should not want fan or not want fan. This is a kacha master. This is how common people or half-cooked people will judge that person. So beware, here we are not here to judge anyone. Here we are to find out who we are as we are. And such a person will never talk anything. It's a fine line. Scriptures say we cannot talk about realized masters. They cannot talk about realized masters. But it is seen that such masters, they build ashrams, they initiate people, they answer questions. Then are they abiding in the truth? Or they are in the mind giving the answers, wanting to build the institutions? How do you marry the two there? Anna?
It can happen, Swami.
What is that?
It can happen without, too much of effort.
No, it's not question of effort at all.
Yeah.
Such a person is not caught up in whatever is taking place. He's not caught up. Like Ramana Maharshi, if food, he used to give food to all the people who were in the ashram. And in the early days, I read the book, there was no food. He says, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, we are meant to remain empty stomach. But Swami, so many people are there, they have not eaten. Some people have come from long distances and they have not eaten. How can we not have any food? But where is his attention? Is he getting caught up in the drama? That Ramana Maharshi said, if it is meant to happen, it will come. Let's see what the God's will is. And there were times when something didn't come and there were times when food came. But they are not attached to it. See? As an individual, we can never understand what a realized master is, a one who is abiding in himself or herself, in their self. Can never. Individuality can never understand. Why? Individuality, as we said, the I thought is in the intellect. Intellect, I is a thought. That thought can never come to know that which is infinite. Thought is that which comes and goes, isn't it? It's too fine. It cannot be worked out. And if you think you have worked out, then you are fooling yourself. Yes.
Swamiji, this is something slightly different from the topic. When there are some discussion or some understanding that realize people that they don't share their experience, how
There is nothing to experience.
because you can't say it in words, or you can't.
Nobody can. The best way it can be explained is the way scriptures do it. And after some time of blabbering, the scriptures also say this is how we can indicate this is how it can be. But don't take our words to be the final praman, final authority, because we cannot dictate how a person abiding in the truth functions. They cannot dictate that, because truth is beyond the scriptures. Truth is not in the scriptures. Truth is beyond scriptures.
No, so you
Scriptures,
can't explain. You can't,
it cannot be explained. But because it cannot be explained doesn't mean that it is not
There.
possible. It is, the truth is there. And this is what the journey of the student is now. As the teacher in the next few verses, he will keep arguing. So here he says, Vaishayikam sukham shoka sahasrena avritta tattvataha dukkham eva. Happiness is no doubt derived from the contact of the sense organs with the sense objects, but what is the nature of this sukham? It is accompanied by thousands of miseries. How can the joy which is mixed with afflictions be called sukham? It is only sorrow. There is no real happiness in the enjoyment of worldly objects. Now we come to here. Why there is no enjoyment in the worldly objects? Is that your experience? If the joy was there in eating a sweetmeat, then it should give me joy for the rest of my life. I should only eat that if it is giving me so much joy. First I will enjoy, second I will enjoy, third I will enjoy, fourth I will enjoy, fifth, sixth, maybe my stamina is more, 10. But after that, I'll start, no, enough, please don't force me. Please don't. No, but please, see, you said you love it, more. By the time 15th, 16th, 17th, next there will be a vomit. And after that, if someone says, you will have one more student, don't even talk about it. So, is there joy in that sweetmeat?
It was.
We felt it was. We felt that the joy was there in the sweetmeat. Similarly, is the joy in the car? Is the joy in the partner? Is the joy in the children? We superimpose. We are of the nature of joy, and that joy, that bliss, we are superimposing on someone else, something or someone else. See? Because if it was, then you will not leave that person for the rest of your life, or that object for the rest of your life. Then you will not think about any other object except that object, because if it has grabbed your imagination. And if you say, no, I get joy from many different objects, you are fooling yourself. Why? Because if I say I get joy from this laptop, for some time I am getting the joy out of it. The reason my attention has gone to the phone now is because I have lost interest in that, or I am tired of it, or I had enough of it. And therefore, now my attention goes on this. Then this becomes too much, then I want to change the scene. I want to talk to someone, or I want to go into gardening, or I want to do something. So don't fool yourself in thinking that the joy is in the objects, or in the people, or in the world. It is not. We are we are of the nature of bliss, and we have superimposed this nature because we are consciousness. Consciousness is of the nature of bliss, and to be complete, it has started seeking it. It has that maybe from here I can get it, maybe from here I can get it, maybe from here I can get it, till we come to a particular point by grace of God, whether we have studied scriptures or not studied scriptures, whether we have gone to church or temple, does not matter. Whether we have met masters or not met masters, but by grace of God, one day we realize that, hey, the real source of joy is in myself, is in the God in my heart. And that day we feel totally fulfilled. And our search ends. We continue to function in the world, but the search ends. Now we are not interacting in the world to gain joy. The step in between is that when we have recognized that we are of the source of joy, then initially we share the joy. Yogis, they keep sharing, but then they don't want you to touch them, etc., etc. Why? Their quota will become less. So they fear again that my quota will become less. They don't want to be in certain environments. Why? The negativities will affect me. But the one who is abiding, that is the last step, the one who is abiding in himself or in the self, he is not afraid. Then whatever, he doesn't decide what he has to do in life, because he has disconnected from the body, breath, mind, intellect and world. He is disconnected. Because where is the whole world? Only in the mind, not out there. And because he has disconnected, the mind will still function. Your relations will still function. Your body will still function. Your interactions with the world will still go on. But there is no one to own it. There is no one to own it. See? We've gone again to the topic of self, because that's where our focus is. But here the topic says, recognize there is no joy or bliss inherent within the objects of the world. They are of the nature of misery. Anything that comes and goes, anything that is conditioned, anything that is limited, anything that is relative, anything that is ephemeral, anything that is born or dies, anything that is existing within the outside space, in the mental space, is relative, is finite. And that finite can only be a source of misery and never joy. Initially it seems as if it is joy. Even the thought at this moment, the thought that I am contemplating on the self, studying the contemplation here about the self is giving us joy. But if you go deeper into it, spend some more time of it, even this contemplation will lead to misery. And that's exactly what happened to Narad Muni. He knows all this. But what is that self, he doesn't know. Iti matva asau alpe sukham na asti iti aha. Knowing this, it can be concluded that this kind of worldly sukham or worldly happiness is finite, it is limited, it is not full. Vishaya sukham is limited by the presence or absence of the object, availability of the object for enjoyment, capacity of the enjoyer to enjoy the object, and the mood of the enjoyer to enjoy the object. Therefore, there cannot be true happiness from such limited Vishaya sukham. We'll talk about these four in our next class. That if any one of these four things keep changing, what is your mood? Array, yesterday, Swamiji, you enjoy the sweet meat, but today I am in no mood. Don't show me. Maybe sometimes I want the sweet meat and it is not available. The object itself is not available. Again misery. The object is available and someone doesn't want to give me, again misery. So there are many factors. They are given 4 factors. They determine. Based on them, we enjoy the objects and relationships of the world. But that they are all finite. Now we'll look at it. Remember, second line of the verse we have to do in 21. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Just sit quietly for 2 minutes, then we'll continue.